Hey guys, I just released 4 new singles to iTunes, Spotify, Amazon MP3, and Google Play. Buy 'em. Hello everybody, welcome back to Theje's Notebook Review. What I have for you today is from Dell. This is the Inspiron 17. He has a Core i3 ULV processor in him, 4 gigs of memory, a 500 gig hard drive, all underneath a 17.3 inch 1600 by 900 screen. Will he be enough for all of your desktop replacement needs? Let's find out. When the average non-premium home computer grew to be fast enough for most consumers, Dell lost ground fast around the mid-2000s. Their reputation for meaty, fast PCs is what propelled them to the top of the market. Time will tell if the recent buyout by Michael Dell will allow this company to find a new, more profitable role. In the meantime, Dell offers strongly competitive notebooks in the DTR segment. This, then, is the Inspiron 17. It retails for around $500 and caters to those looking for a desktop unit with a smaller footprint and basic mobility. The AC adapter reinforces this role by having an extra short cord length, even though it is only a 65-watt unit. There are no recovery discs included, but Dell makes it easy to make some. The notebook itself is quite hefty, as is to be expected, and will take more than one hand to open. Under the hood, you'll find a very modest set of specs, including a ULV Core i3 processor, 4 gigs of DDR3 memory, a 500 gig 5400 RPM hard drive, all underneath a mammoth 17-inch glossy LCD screen with a 1600 by 900 pixel count. All of this is powered by a meager 4-cell lithium-ion battery. While that may seem small for a 17-incher, remember that the CPU and hard drive are power sippers, resulting in a battery life that can go past 3 hours of internet work use. Since there's no video card to suck up power, even gaming goes into the hour-and-a-half range, which is quite impressive. Let's see what all those holes in the side do. On the front, we get the indication lights, a card reader, and speaker grills that are barely visible from the front. On the right, we get a USB 2.0 port, the DVD-RW drive, and a lock slot. There's nothing on the back. And on the left side, we get the meat, including the power jack, the main vent, HDMI, LAN, 2 USB 3.0 and 1 USB 2.0 for a total of 4 USBs, and a solitary headset jack. When we remove the bottom cover, we can see that only the 2 memory slots and the hard drive are accessible. We don't get access to the Wi-Fi card for a possible upgrade, but that's okay in this case. The range isn't exactly stupendous, but it picks up 4 bars, sometimes 5, with ease from 40 feet and 2 walls away. The body of the Inspiron 17 is covered with a raised triangular pattern. It's comfortable to the touch and is a nice reprieve from your typically flat notebook surfaces. It won't show fingerprints, but it will be stained from the oil on your fingers and can be difficult to clean. The same goes for the keyboard and the touchpad. The display on this 17-incher is nothing out of the ordinary, save for its larger size. The viewing angles are nice and wide when looking from the left or the right, but when tilted up or down, you'll quickly lose color accuracy. Fortunately, it tilts back just far enough to find a comfortable viewing angle on your lap. It's also glossy, but that's okay since this notebook is designed to stay inside your house. The keyboard works perfectly, as it should, with such a massive amount of real estate, and won't miss any keystrokes. What's especially nice about 17-inch notebooks is that the keys are larger, especially the arrow keys, but it's missing a quick menu key to the right of the spacebar. Still, this isn't a deal breaker for me. The touchpad is also quite nice. Mouse movement is stable and won't throw you for any loops. Multi-gestures are supported and feel natural. It even has separate keys on the bottom instead of a unibutton, which adds to the ease of use. The speakers on this desktop replacement unit are not quite worthy of being called desktop replacement speakers. Sure, they get their own grills, but they're not loud at all and have a narrow frequency response. Since you're probably going to leave it on your desk, plugging in 2 tweeters and a woofer will be an easy fit, but be warned, since there's only a headset jack, you'll need a USB mic if you want to use external speakers. Once the relatively small amount of bloatware was removed, what was left over for system performance was still not very promising. Web browsing can be sluggish on the ultra-low voltage Core i3 and 5400 RPM hard drive, and applications or games will not have quick loading times. Fortunately, since this notebook can't possibly get even close to uncomfortably warm, a cheap, speedy 7200 RPM hard drive will feel right at home here. On to gaming. The Intel HD 4400 GPU included on the Core i3 4010U can play games. It'll suck, but it's possible. At least it won't heat up to anywhere near an uncomfortable level, but the system fan still goes into try-hard mode when the CPU is only at about 54 degrees, which I found rather odd. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 will hover around 30 frames per second at the native 1600x900 res on low details. I can't stand it when it dips below, which it does way too often. Here at 720p, the frame rate cleans up a little bit, but it'll still dip to 30 when looking across a map, making it almost impossible to get a good shot. Diablo 3 runs well enough to play at native res with low details. Frame rate dips should be expected when facing large hordes of monsters, so playing in hardcore mode or in multiplayer would be ill-advised. League of Legends surprisingly runs very well. Here in medium details with VSync on, expect to play rather smoothly up until you get into a teamfight when your frame rate will dip to 30 or below. Still, you should be able to manage perfectly well in a lower detail setting with VSync on. Skyrim seems to have a lot of trouble reaching 30 frames per second in the low details preset at native res. This is by no means a Twitch gameplay title, but still, you'll have a hard time enjoying it. Don't even think about trying Battlefield 4. In conclusion, students get a thumbs down. It's big, it's heavy, and it's not worth much to you. Casual gamers will also get nothing out of this notebook. Competitive gamers have no need to bat an eye this way. Home users can go for this model. It's better suited to those who are afraid a 15.6-inch screen would be too small and difficult to read, or maybe you don't want to buy a monitor. There are cheaper and faster 17-inch notebooks available, but you'll be trading down in overall build quality, heat output, and, if it really even matters, battery life. Okay everybody, thank you for watching my feature presentation of the Dell Inspiron 17 desktop replacement notebook. Feel free to thumbs me up, ask a question down below, or even subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching, and you guys, have a good night.